The wins keep coming for the North Central Cardinals as they exact revenge on homecoming Saturday against Illinois Wesleyan. But as fans start to look ahead to the Wheaton game and the playoffs, the Cardinals are focused on a tough road game this week at Elmhurst. Keep it right here for the next 30 minutes, Cardinal fans. The Red Zone starts right now. Welcome to this week's show. I'm Alex Simmons, joined by Cardinal head coach John Thorne. Coach, I know you guys have been looking forward to this game, exacting kind of revenge from 2009, and it kind of showed. You guys came out pumped up and added another victory.
You know, Wesleyan played really well, and we knew they were going to be coached well. They always are, and their defense really jumped right up and got 2 interceptions on basically our first 2 offensive plays. So made it a little scary, but the defense just played solid the whole game, and we were so proud of them. And special teams had a really great day, and then the offense got rolling, and so it ended up 30-7, which was okay.
It wasn't definitely a fun one at Bennett Eddie Worley. Let's take a look at the highlight. The Cardinals look pretty pumped up for their homecoming clash with Illinois Wesleyan. Titan coach Norm Esch trying to spoil the celebration. After a scoreless first quarter, we go to the second, and Dennis Zick is on to punt. He gets a booming one away, but for Joe Antonacci, it's not booming enough. The junior takes it in and follows some great blocks going up the Cardinals sideline into Titan territory before being brought down at the 27. Fifth play of the ensuing Cardinal possession, and it's Antonacci again. After the play-action fake, Brad Crackle finds him on the slant route to get the Cardinals on the board. We go to the second half now, same score, Titan ball. Brian Rooney drops back and looks deep, but doesn't get it all the way there. Josh McLeod picks off the underthrown ball for his team-leading 4th interception, and the Cardinals capitalize on the very next play. Crackle fakes to Antonacci on the sweep. Rush is coming, but Crackle evades it and shows off his big arm. 55 yards in the air on a line to Manny Juarez behind 2 defenders. 51 yards on the pitch and catch. 14-zip Cardinals. After a field goal, Cards up 17-zip. Rooney drops back again, steps up to avoid the rush, and tries getting it to a running back, but the backwards pass hits the ground and Matt Wenger scoops it up and scores. 21 yards on the fumble return. North Central goes dancing into the night with a homecoming victory. Coach, you alluded to it a little bit earlier, the defense continuing to hold the other team to some really low numbers, and the way they're playing just has to have you really encouraged.
You know, the D-line just keep getting better every week, but Matt Wenger just had one of his really, really great games. Scooped up a fumble for a touchdown, had 14 tackles, and all the linebackers were contributing, making more tackles than they have in the last few ball games. And our secondary has just done a wonderful job. We tipped the ball and got some interceptions and had some fun with that too. So we're really happy with them, and they're working very hard. They deserve to play well.
And you just barely beat me to it. Matt Wenger, our game-changing performance this week. You talked about the 14 tackles. He's a guy that was coming off the injury, and a lot of people didn't know what to expect, but judging from his performances all season, and especially on Saturday, he's a guy that's really flying around on the football field.
He sure is, and he had some unbelievable plays where he got off blocks and got to the ball with lightning speed and acrobatic moves to get there sometimes.
And you look at his stat line, you know, the 14 tackles, tackle for loss and the touchdown. It seems like he's really taken up his play a notch.
You know, this is the time of year where you need the whole team to all of a sudden have people look at you and say, wow, they are really getting it, you know, and our defensive guys are. The offensive guys are still working on getting their timing down a little bit better, and we're hoping this is the week for that to happen.
And this one's a scoop and score. How much did you like to see that one?
That was a lot of fun. You got to keep playing football.
And it's kind of one of those plays that, you know, you see that quarterback throw the pass, and you're wondering, is it going to be incomplete? Is it something that's going to be a fumble, but those instincts take over and you pick it up no matter what, and it really showed there?
Yeah, absolutely. Matt did the right thing. Our whole defense was flying down there. Let's make it look like a fumble, scoop it up and make it go, get the points. And the officials, nobody blew whistle, and it was definitely a backward throw, so turned out really good.
And he's one of those fifth-year seniors, one of those leadership guys that you really don't see at this level that often, but you have more than one on your defense, and it's really kind of showed with the veteran leadership you have.
Yeah, we were very lucky to get a guy like Matt. He could definitely play at a higher level, but we have some other guys on the defense that are in that same situation where they're very, very outstanding players, and we're just happy they decided to choose North Central College.
And as we look to the third phase of the game, special teams, we had talked about a couple weeks ago, I asked you, what do you want this team to improve on? And you talked about hoping to bust out a couple big returns. Well, Joe Antonacci, 128 all-purpose yards, he did just that on Saturday.
Yeah, he really did. The guys are understanding the whole scheme, and they're getting their blocks and staying with them. We're not getting flags for blocking people in the back like we have the last few years. So we were very excited about what they did. And then little Shane Durkin comes in and runs one for 43 yards on the last punt.
And another part of the special teams phase, kickoffs, Kevin Loof, as a freshman, has come in. He had 2 touchbacks on Saturday, 7 for the season, and in the field position game, it has to be huge to have a freshman come in like that and fill such a big role.
He's got a very big leg, and he's leading the conference right now in average kickoff distance, which gives your guys a lot of time to get down there and make some great tackles.
And we look at the ground game on offense. Jordan Tassio just churning up the yards again. How big is it to have a running back like that? And you guys use the Wildcat package to a really big extent on Saturday as well. It's got to be big to be able to use him in so many different ways.
We're still finding more and more ways that he can help the team every week, and he pretty much put the whole offense on his shoulders and took care of this last game. I mean, some of those runs were really important at the time. We needed those first downs. We needed those yards. He broke a lot of tackles, jumped over some people, showed his speed. He's just really turning into just a fabulous player for us.
Well, the Cardinals notched a huge home victory this weekend, and although everybody else seems to be looking forward to the Wheaton game, Cardinal players are focusing on Elmhurst. That's the subject of this week's What's the Word?
Every Monday, we get our scouting report, and on the front it says, go 1-0. We really take one game at a time. I know other people might be looking forward to 2 weeks from now, but we're focused on Elmhurst, and we're very focused on defense and on offense.
We got to prepare for the best team in America. So, Elmhurst, they're looking pretty good this year, so we got to just buckle down and not look past them, because they can give us a game if we don't pay attention to them.
Well, Elmhurst is a good team. I think they just beat Milliken, or they took them to the end. They've played every game hard this year, and they played well against us last year. So we're going to keep playing 1-0 every week is our goal. So that's what we're going to do with Elmhurst too.
We stress one game at a time. Every week we prepare like we're playing the #1 team in the country. So, and if we do get to that point where we do play the #1 team in the country, it'll be no different. So, like next week we're gonna prepare for Elmhurst just like we're playing the #1 team in the country.
What's going to happen? We have a target on our backs at this point. We won 4 straight conference championships now. You're going to have teams. Everyone's going to come out and give you your best game. There's really no way around it because they all know we're a good team.
Coach, is it tough keeping these guys focused when it seems like every fan that I talk to looking forward to the playoffs, looking forward to Wheaton? You guys have 3 more home games, or you guys have 3 more games left, especially with a very tough Elmhurst squad this weekend.
Well, Elmhurst is a big rivalry with North Central in a lot of sports, just because we're kind of similar type schools, and so I think our guys are going to be very fired up for this ball game. It'll be very disappointing if they're not. And our quarterback from last year is coaching there, Tim Lester, who's a great friend of ours, and played for me, and he coached for the Cardinals for a while. He's the head coach there, so there's that rivalry of wanting to do well against guys that you've had in your program.
And as we look ahead to the Blue Jays, they struggled last season, but at 5-2, 2-2 in the conference this year, they put together a pretty good season so far, have some really good skill players on offense. What kind of do you expect to see from them as they come out on Saturday?
Well, college football is all about speed, and they're the fastest team that will play this year. So they're still young, and they still have, you know, some guys that maybe aren't going to make as many good plays as what you would hope, but their skilled guys are very fast, and if they get the ball in their hands in some open space, it'll be really hard for us to catch them. So we're working very hard to have a great scheme against them, and the quarterback threw extremely well last week, so he's kind of on fire right now. So we're expecting to see the ball in the air quite a bit.
Well, speed versus speed, it's definitely going to be a good one.
It should be.
We'll keep it right here because after a quick timeout, Coach and I will be joined by two Cardinal players that keep the hits coming.